Okay, I don't. Well, apparently you're hearing me, so that's good. I'm not going to worry about headphones or anything like that because this is really just a proof of concept so that I know I'll be able to, once again, stream. I want to record for a few minutes, but I'm not going to go for long. As long as I'm able to successfully record and then post, then I'll work on unlocking my Twitch account because hopefully this year, uh, after all of the crap from last year, hopefully this year we're getting the Breath of the Wild sequel. If it holds to normal form, it will be a late summer or fall release. Nintendo tends to release in those time frames anyway. So I guess we will see whether or not that is the same. And I am still playing Age of Calamity, so, I mean, who knows? I may be able to actually stream again. I haven't been able to for some time, mostly because I am a Mac person. You'll know that from just having watched my videos, having heard me talk, all of it. So, I am going to actually, as long as everything works, then I'll do an actual review on this thing. For those who don't know, pardon me, that is annoying. Literally just had an Octorok pop up and put my fire out. That is annoying as all crap. I haven't found any fire weapons yet. I'm still very early on in this playthrough. But when I first started, I had an Elgato HD Capture Plus. It's a great little capture card. It comes with their software. So it allows you to stream to Twitch, to record for YouTube, pretty much anything. And I get the feeling that there's quite a few people using something like that. Elgato seems to be the big dog. It is $100 plus to buy one. No, I don't have the Divine Beast yet. So I went and got one because it said Mac compatible. I think I'd had it 6 months when it wouldn't stream anymore. So I was resigned to being a YouTube video person. And that upset me a little bit, but I could still record. And then about a week or so later, nothing would work. I still have it because I'm actually considering getting a PC or building a PC. Why am I walking? I can transport. I'm considering building a PC here in a couple of months. There's just a lot more you can do with stuff like this. You can get more. There are more games available for PC than Mac. Mac has never been the gamer's computer. Now, with something like this is a UOEOS. No idea how they want you to pronounce that. But all this is an HDMI to USB adapter. It shows up in OBS as an HDMI camera. I think that's what it shows up as. It shows up as a USB camera. And a lot of people use this kind of stuff. This allows you to hook up a camcorder to your computer with a much higher quality of. Okay, now I'm lost. Where did I find that Korok last time? Much higher quality streaming. Wasn't over there. Maybe it was over here. So, I mean, you can just do a lot more when you use something like a camera or this over HDMI. Problem is, I didn't know of any of these that would work on a Mac until about a week ago. I had some Amazon credit, so I used it, and voila, I have a working... There's that guy, but of course now he's surrounded. Well, let's just wake up the Lizalfos. If I get there fast enough, I can light this torch. But I didn't know about which one I wanted. I didn't have any reviews on any of them until about a week ago. I had some credit on Amazon from returning a couple of things that didn't work, so I took a chance. This cost me $24, shipping and all. Took about 4 days to get here. Now, granted, I had it delivered to an Amazon locker, just because the Amazon people like to drive heavy trucks in my driveway when it's wet and get stuck, and then expect me to pull them out, and they get told no every time. Or they leave something on the storage building porch which has no lid or no roof, and I get packages that are soaking wet. I actually ordered a wireless microphone. It got left on the uncovered porch in a rainstorm. And I actually had to argue with Amazon that their person should have known not to leave a package in the rain, to have them replace it. I didn't even want the money back. I wanted the product. I have it. I use it. It's great. But they actually argued with me that, well, this was the house you said. I said, no, I did not. I gave you the address. I told you which house. It's on the delivery instructions. Well, have you changed those? No, I have not changed those. I'm not trying to defraud Amazon. I'm trying to get my package and have it not be ruined by rain, because your person doesn't know that you shouldn't leave something in the rain. Not going to waste a bomb arrow. And all that. So I tend to use Amazon lockers like at QT. So I went and picked this thing up today. I can't show a picture of it because it's plugged in. But, I mean, it's just, I don't see why. And I work IT. I know that if you have a Linux-based system or a DOS-based system or a Unix-based system or a this or that or the other based system, writing a program to work across all of them is very difficult. In fact, the company I work for, I support proprietary software for our company's users. And for the longest time, we had only a desktop version. And it would only work on PC. And we had schools that were very unhappy because they were all Mac schools. Or they, very recently, were Chromebook schools. I had a lighter, but I lost it. So, several years ago, my boss started transitioning us to web-based. And that's where I see a lot of things going. A lot of softwares are going to start going web-based because, one, it is easier to maintain compatibility. I will tell you from my own experience, both in IT and just my own experience. Internet Explorer, Edge, Safari. There's the joke that they are given to you free so you can download Chrome and Firefox. The thing is, this is kind of true. They are your basic browsers. They're literally meant to run like banking, email. They're not meant to run very high use, YouTube, Netflix, things like that, because they don't have all of the same drivers and plugins and so on that Chrome, Firefox, and so on can use. Now, I have my own complaints about Firefox within my own company. It's very funny that Netscape was pushed out of business because Microsoft started putting IE on every new PC, and Netscape was reimagined as Firefox, Mozilla. But if you don't have the ability to go browser-based, the Apple versus Windows, the Mac versus PC argument is going to cause you some problems. I mean, it's cost me almost a year and a half of not being able to do anything. Now, granted, I'm not a big gamer. I am a 43-year-old guy. I grew up on Nintendo. The original PlayStation was not introduced until I was out of high school almost. So, I mean, literally the first video game system I had was Pong. Although my parents played it more than we did. And we had Atari, I remember Space Invaders, stuff like that. I didn't grow up with all these games. I had a Game Boy so I could play Tetris on road trips, and I got very upset when I would get to 999,900 something, and then my game would be over, and I didn't get to watch the rocket launch. When Switch came out, when it was announced, I was not overly excited. I'm not a gamer, but when they announced Breath of the Wild, the trailer, and I've said this before, the trailer for Breath of the Wild is very much what my fevered little 11-year-old, 10-year-old brain saw. That is very much what my imagination saw when I was playing the original Legend of Zelda in 1980s. You can tell here, this is just playing. I can imagine easily the old top-down, and I can remember playing it, or the old side-scroller from Adventure of Link. I actually didn't play much after that because I didn't have the SNES or the 64. Didn't really care. I mean, I never really got into them. And I didn't have the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy DS or any of that, just because I never really had a desire for them. I mean, I would rent a 64 for a weekend from Blockbuster when I was in high school and shortly after. That was the extent of my gaming until 2005 or 6-ish. We got a PS3. And that's where I first played games like Assassin's Creed, Warhawk. Love Warhawk. Wish I had a PS3, could still play it, but the community's gone. Burnout Paradise City was a favorite of my brother and I, so I got back into it, and then we saw Breath of the Wild, and I knew I had to have it. Like many people, Zeltic, Nintendo Mass Bandit, Nintendo Black Crisis, I am all but salivating at the chance to play the sequel to Breath of the Wild. I mean, you can tell here, I've played Breath of the Wild a lot. I will admit that after probably 60 to 80 hours on my original profile, which I still have, actually hit 100% completion on, I got a little bit fed up with a few things, mostly finding the stupid little Koroks, and I finally went to Zelda Dungeon and used their map to find the Koroks. I would not watch a walkthrough of a shrine unless it took me a week or more to figure it out. I will admit that the Hateno Village Shrine, I don't know what their names are, but it's the one where you've got basically the little labyrinth thing, and you have to control it by moving your controller around. I tried that for several days, off and on, and a buddy of mine at work had already beaten it, and he got past it. I mean, it was that old, can you just get me past this level? Because I was fed up with trying. And I still go back and try, and I still fail. I will let you in on the secret to that if you've not played this game yet. Flip your controller upside down after you activate the device. You will have a flat surface. Now, getting the angle right, getting the little flick right so that the orb will go down the ramp into the place it's supposed to. Still difficult, but not nearly like that maze is. You also want to make sure that you leave the other platform, you flip it back right side up, and leave it where you can parasail over to it and pick up your Phrenic bow. The only ones that I ever resorted to a walkthrough on were the ones on the top of Dueling Peaks and the one in the Korok Forest, where you have to actually put the little orbs in the right pattern. And there's some kind of code built into what they show on the walls. I never could figure those codes out. Even now that I know them, I don't see it. So, I mean, I'd rather play a major test of strength with only fallen tree branches and 3 hearts with no meals than stare at those stupid constellations and try to figure out where I'm supposed to put those things. You can see here I'm at the North Lomai Labyrinth. I've actually already completed actually this is the northeast. I've already completed the northwest. No, actually I haven't gone to the Akala one yet. That's the one where you get, and I haven't done the Garuda. Ooh, this is still a very new playthrough. But you gotta learn tricks like this where, you drop a bomb to kill off a bunch of choo-choos. Square bombs are a little better. They don't roll. You really just have to wait until you know that you've got them all, because these things... Ugh. Anyway, I've recorded long enough, I've rambled long enough that I'll know, based on the quality of this video. I mean, I will tell you... No, I don't want to bomb. I will tell you that I do use OBS to record my other videos. The reason I don't use the green screen, I don't even have it, you can see it over here, I don't even have it extended for this, is that iMovie, for some reason, it adds an echo effect. I mean, it's like I'm talking into 2 mics and there's a, millisecond delay between them. It's just bad quality, and I don't like putting that out, so I'm using Shotcut now to edit those clips. This one I'm not going to need to edit clips, so I'm just going to run it through Handbrake to decrease the size a bit, and then I'll upload and we'll see what happens. As long as it's good quality on YouTube, then I will start trying to unlock my Twitch account and start playing again. I don't really have any other, besides Age of Calamity on Hyrule Warriors, I don't really have any other games that I think would be popular on Twitch. Now, when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I plan to do what a lot of people do. I won't be taking the day before the launch off like I used to, mostly because my shift is now different enough, pardon me, that with that shift change, I don't have to worry about staying awake. The other part of it is Zelda Breath of the Wild, which you're watching, and Age of Calamity, even Dead by Daylight, and others that I've bought the physical cartridge for. Those required a lot of updating. So, yeah. I will probably pick it up, and GameStop isn't even doing midnight launches anymore. When Hyrule Warriors came out, I was planning on picking it up on the night, at midnight, the night before it came, the day before it came out. And they said they're not allowed to do that anymore. Apparently, this current virus is smart enough to know if you're out and about after 10 o'clock at night. Now, I will say with MK11, they just did the launch right at their close of business. I mean, they didn't actually sell it. I'd pre-ordered, so they already had my money. And they just knew they had a report, and then the very next morning they would mark them as delivered. So, who knows? But I still need to get that tower. With Breath of the Wild 2, I doubt I will be the first one streaming it, just because we will have Europe. Asia, of course, will get it ahead of us. They're beyond the international dateline anyway. Europe will get it many hours before me. Even the East Coast will get it many hours before me. Or a couple of hours. But I will be taking the day, so if it releases on a Friday, I'll be taking that Friday. If it's a Thursday, even better, I'll take Thursday, Friday. And as soon as the updates are complete, and for those who ask, why are there so many updates to a brand new game? It's actually rather simple. You cannot fit, I'll actually use one as an example, the amount of information that is needed for that game cannot fit on this. In many ways, the cartridge is your download key, and it contains the base program. Think of it like getting a new operating system. It contains just enough information to control a download of the full package. And I'll tell you, I have to go through and delete games. Like I had to delete Dead by Daylight so I could reinstall, or so I could install Hyrule Warriors. Your progress is saved. So for those who are wondering, like I did at first, if I have to delete Dead by Daylight to play Hyrule Warriors, do I have to start Dead by Daylight over? No. Your progress is saved because you sign into your Switch Online account. So it knows where I was. When I reinstall Dead by Daylight, if I have to uninstall, Switch Online or whatever, it will remember where I am. I currently have Switch Online uninstalled because I'm not paying for it yet. Again, I let it expire. But when I install it again, it will remember that I have a full, complete Legend of Zelda, where I've beat Ganondorf. So don't worry about having to do stuff like that, because, I have about the biggest memory card this system will handle, and even then, I can only keep about 2, maybe 3 games installed at a time. That's really all there is. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm actually going to just pause and save here just because I was only playing so I could record. And I've recorded 24 minutes of this. But let me know if you would like to see streaming. I will say I have Warface. It is a first-person shooter. I got it because I saw the ad on one of the YouTube channels I watch, and it's a free download. Why not get a free game? I may start streaming it. Who knows? If I can find a community to play with and actually enjoy it, so much the better. I do have a headset with a mic that I can plug in, and we'll see what happens. Until next time, have a great day, guys.